The year is 2023 and things are getting weird. The rest of the world's cutting back on sugars to make their people healthier. Meanwhile, in the United States, in order to curb the ongoing obesity epidemic, the president just signed an executive order banning hot dogs and other sausages from all 50 states. The ban went into effect immediately and without warning, and because of this, in a suburb of Texas, a guy named Donovan finally snapped. He had a menial job of data entry and he was already tottering on the brink of insanity, and this was the last straw. Donovan had seen a Netflix documentary on Al Capone and knew that there'd be a vacuum left behind by this absence of savory sausage, so he sold everything and cashed out his retirement, decided to get into the illicit world of underground meats. Little did he know that this was the beginning of his journey to becoming the Dog Father. He set up shop in a sleepy corner of Appalachia and founded a town under the guise of producing liquor, so the town was known as Whiskey Creek. And this is where our story begins. Hello everyone, Brad here. Today Brad is building a brand new city, and we are starting the pork prohibition, I guess, as it were. So we're going to follow this timeline or the story of Donovan and see where it leads us. So let's start a new game. This is going to be using City Planner Play's custom map called Magnolia County. So we're going to go ahead and start it. And we already said the name of this city, at least for now, is going to be Whiskey Creek. We will leave it as North American theme, have disasters, and we'll just start this game up. There is one other mod that I'm using, and that is going to be Historical Start, I think is the name of it. And it lets us start with some industry, so we can kind of tell a story here. But let's see this map if you haven't seen it already. It is, since we've unlocked industry, I can go ahead and show you. It is there's a lot more fertile ground and fertile land than there is in a normal Colossal Water map. And you can see that there's a lot of other coal, ore, and oil in this map than there is in a normal map. So it makes building, makes it more fun, and it makes it, especially the fertile land, makes it a little more realistic. But today we're kind of see where Donovan starts. This is the little spot that he's found in the hills, and he's gonna kind of start under the radar. He wants to build a farm so he can make these, clandestine sausages. So he's gonna need some livestock, and he's gonna need grain because no one's gonna be making hot dog buns anymore. So he's got to make his own grain too. But let's start with the necessities first. We know we're gonna need electricity and water, so let's get those placed. Starting out, let's start with the sewage. I know that water is coming in from this side and kind of flows around this way, so we're definitely going to want to put the Dookie water over here. Let's go ahead and just place it as far downstream as we can. For now, it's going to be right about here. One of the other cool things about this map, if you're not familiar with it, is it doesn't come in with like giant highways. These are just 2-lane highways. It's kind of like how a city would naturally start out, a small highway going through this area. And it's just kind of cool if it's the story we're trying to do here. So let's I hate this is gonna dump. I might just move this. I don't want this to dump on this land over here, so let's move it and at least have it dump out into the river and not on that land. Easiest way to connect this, let's just go ahead and build a little road that goes over here. So let's connect this up. That'll connect up our pipes as well. Let's see, where do we want this to come in at? I know at some point we're going to develop along here a little bit. Let's just bring, we'll bring this straight back at a 90. How about that? And then we will just kind of curve it. Actually, we're not going to curve it. Let's just go straight into it. It may not be pretty, but I think it works, at least starting out. Yeah, who am I kidding? We're gonna clean this up. let's look at our pipes and see what they look like. We're still a little bit shy since that is run into a highway, and highways don't carry our water. So let's connect this up. I think that works. All right, so that takes care of sewage. Let's figure out fresh water. We can't get up here yet. We don't have that tile, so we're gonna have to pull in from over here somewhere. Either that, or we're gonna have to pull in groundwater. Let's see what that looks like. I thought there was groundwater here. I could do water tower. That's a lot of upkeep though. I think we're gonna start small. Oh, I'm a giddy goat. This is what we'd be looking for. And that is also a lot of upkeep. So yeah, I think since Donovan is starting as small as he can, we're gonna go as kind of shoestring budget as we can starting off. So let's bring this in as far upstream as we can. Right there. That's where it's gonna be. We'll bring a road in. Let's bring it straight to it. And you know what might make sense? I wonder, can we do a road that way? We can. Let's see what our contours look like. Not bad. We can do this. So let's bring it out. Meet. Perfect. I like it. Let's do that. So now we just need power. So let's see. I think if I remember right, this map does not have a lot of wind. So starting off with this sort of, you know, a wind turbine is not really going to be possible. At best, it looks like we're going to get just shy of 1 megawatt. So the other option would be to do a small coal power plant, but that outlay is just too much. I feel like that wouldn't be realistic for Donovan, so we're just going to plop in a transformer station, and we will do that. Probably get at the somewhere close to this road over here. We'll back it away from this highway if we can. Probably right about here. That'll be good for now. Let's bring the transmission line over. We've got power now, or at least we got power here. I don't think power is going to come all the way over here. Does this have power? How's that getting power? I know power does not go under the highway. Oh, I see under here. Yeah, where's power getting over here? Interesting. I do not know. I do not know how this is getting power. Does it show operating normally? Efficiency 100%, no usage. I guess we'll find out in a second when we start placing some things. So we'll probably have to put some water pipes under here, or some power and water pipes. But let's look and see where our industry is going to be. Donovan needs to start a farm. That's kind of his first thing, because he needs to get some pigs, and he needs to get some grain going so that he can build some of these speakeasy sausages he's got. So let's see what our train looks like. If I pop in here and load up, we've got our contour lines. We have what seems like a pretty flat area down here, and somewhat flat up here. I think maybe we put some residential up on the high ground. This is definitely lower down There's a good amount of slope here. So maybe we level out a pad up here. There's still a good amount of drop here. So let's see what we can do. All right, I think that looks a little bit better, and we definitely have some flat up here. We may terrace this down some and have something a little bit lower, but for now, I think that's gonna work. Let's make a small little residential spot up here, and I think we're gonna want to slope this up. Figure out how we're gonna come into this roundabout. Now I think we're gonna come up to like here. Now I know that's a really steep or sharp angle. I think for a residential area that could work, and we'll do the same thing over here. We're gonna probably put in some more roads, but for now, we can kind of have this as our main street. You know, maybe we don't curve it. Let's try without. Let's just bring it up to about a 90 up here. Let's see what this looks like. Not a 90, but just directly into the road instead of without a curve. And we'll make this an intersection, and we might bring this a little forward. What do we want our grid to look like up here? So we'll probably need some commercial up here too. I mean, I guess starting out, we're not really going to have a grid. We're just going to place... Donovan isn't interested in building a city yet. Sometime down the road, he will. And wow, that... What are the odds of that actually lining up? That is... That's luckier than I will get the rest of the day. So let's make another... Let's just come in here about the end of this. And bring this in as well. Just kind of try to make these reasonably parallel. They're not going to be exactly, but that's okay. And that's not a terrible incline. What's that? 4%? A little less than 4%? I can live with that. And we'll come in here and let's just go ahead and bring it in. We'll just curve it in. Have like a separate entrance. We will obviously get some better connectivity between these, but for now, I just want to connect them up. So that can be our first little section is in between here, and maybe let's put a little bit more connectivity between here. We're not going to do, I don't want to do like a normal grid over here. So let's just, we got plenty of connectivity on that side. I want to make one more connection over here. This highway is going to start getting really, I'm basically turning this arterial into a collector, and that's probably not the greatest idea, but that's probably a problem for another day. So let's, what's that incline like? 8%. That is not great. So we're not gonna make another connection over here. In fact, let's go ahead and get rid of this one. And we'll start just kind of making some connections through here every so often. Real haphazard. No planning here. Donovan's not a city planner. He is just trying to keep low profile and get out from underneath his job he hates, and get rich. So this will be good starting out. This will be our at least our very beginning of residential and commercial. Now let's set through. I think I want to flatten this part out down here, and have this be our farm. Let's see if we can pick a contour line to work with. I don't want to make it too far below the road, so let's pick. What's this look like if I get close in? It's kind of hard to see with all the trees there. Well, we're going to take our best shot at this, and I am just going to pick right here. How about that? And then let's figure out a place that we can cut in and bring in a couple of gravel roads. I think I want to cut straight in over like right here and then across. So let's maybe right about here. And I want to come all the way up to about where that hill is, to the very end. Well, no, I don't, because I'm gonna probably end up zoning farming at the end of this. So let's do like that. Then over here, let's go ahead and create that 90-degree turn. This is going to be flat, except at the very end. So let's come up to that right about here. And then we'll see if we can slope this. That is much better. So we have the start of something here. However, we don't actually have any utilities in here because utilities aren't carried along the highway. So how do we want to get those over? Let's think about that. I think for now we just lay some pipes and we do our best here. We'll just bring him straight over. As we build this out, I will try to remember. We will at some point come back and see these, and we will fix these wonky pipes that are not going to be under any sort of public right-of-way. But for now, because we are certainly not trying to be the height of realism here, we are just going to try to make the connection so we can get the game to run. Is this gonna connect? I don't feel like that is. I think that is. All right. So I think we've got water, we've got sewage, and we have power. So let's start with a little bit of residential. And I think I might put in one more street, and these probably should have been gravel, but they're not. No biggie. Let's bring our curved road tool back here and kind of curve this around the highway. I wish I could see the slope there. It looks like it's about, 2%. That is totally doable. And actually what I want to do is I want to bring it back. And I know I said I wasn't going to really build a grid, but here we are building a bit of a grid. What are you going to do? Let's start with that. We could put in a couple more roads here. Let's put in a couple of curved roads. Let's make this straight until about here. And I want to do the same over here. Bring this out a bit, and then we can make this a curved road until we meet up. Can bring it into that intersection. This one's going to be a little more challenging. I don't know what these lots will look like. We'll probably make these small lots because the topology is going to be really crazy there. But at the beginning here, at least, that is a really crazy angle. That is a really crazy angle to be coming in at, considering I mean, I guess we did that to get up that hill, so let's live with it. Let's stick with it. Let's zone in some things though. Let's zone in our first. Actually, I'm going to pause it. Let's zone in our first residential and commercial and see if we can get some things coming in here. At the beginning, it's just going to be Donovan and his workforce, or the people that he's going to bring in to work his farms. So we're not going to need a ton. This is probably going to be kind of our main street. I bet we'll put commercial here. Let's put some residential behind here. And I'm filling these in like this because I know it gets really funny about how these look when you don't do it this way. They end up coming in really strange. So we will fill this in partially, and then we will come in and fill in the rest. Actually, I don't like that. We're just going to take our time on this build. This is not going to be a super fast build. We're just going to kind of go with it. All right, let's start there. I know it's small, but let's watch this. Let's watch this fill in real quick. Actually, I know that as soon as these people come in, we're going to start having some commercial. So let's place some commercial before we even get there. And ideally, we see like a gas station come in right here. I feel like that is pretty realistic, right off of this little highway. But we'll see what we get. Let's start right there. Just for kicks, we're gonna let this go for a minute. See what it looks like. Donovan and his crew have moved in. We have no residential demand left, so we got 14 people in the city right now. I imagine here in just a minute we'll have a few more. We've got some spacious homes. They have wealth and leisure time. Let's see what commercial moved in over here. Let's just take a look. We've got the Teak Stool Company. And looks like sushi. No. What is that? The Crazy Calibri? I'm guessing that's a bar. I suppose that makes sense. Woven wool. Oh, come on. There's got to be something along here. There is a gas station. And I suppose that's close enough to the highway. That could work. Not quite realistic. It's got a grand total of 1 fuel pump. We could go play some whack-a-mole and figure out what building size those would be. But we've got 21 people here now, and they are mostly happy. So the next thing we want to do is actually make a place for them to work over here. We're going to build their farm, their super secret farming area over here. So let's figure out where we want to place these. Not industry. We're going to have 2 main types, at least initially. We're going to have livestock and we're going to have grain. Again, we're trying to build some industry to make hot dogs and hot dog buns. So let's start off. Livestock can go anywhere. We do have a little bit of hilly terrain back here. So let's put at least one of our livestock areas back here, and we can kind of just corner this entire side of the road and make that our livestock area. And I wanna make it all the way this entire arc. And I think we'll fix this in a minute because there's going to be some of this that just does not make sense with these hills. But that's a problem for future Brad, or future Donovan, I guess. So that's our first spot, and we can see it's kind of hilly back here. And I guess for certain livestock that would be fine. Pigs can probably get around just fine up there. So maybe that'll be okay for now. We don't have power. Not enough electricity. That is what I was worried about before. So let's pause this for just a moment and see. I guess that connection didn't actually connect. Oh, that's because we just did water lines. We did not do electricity. So let's do that. I know we can do underground connections here. So let's do that. Let's bring this along that same spot. Connect that up. And now if we unpause. Yeah, all right. Our farm has some space. All right, so that is our livestock. Next, let's move on to place some grain. We can start making some hot dogs. Now we need to make some buns. Grain should be flatter. And I'm trying to decide how exactly I want to split up this area in the middle. I think most of it is going to be farmland. But since it's this circular area, it makes it rather difficult. I might just want to place it right here in the middle and have one and just build a road out to it. Let's place it there, and I'll probably move it here in a second. Let's put our road. And in fact, we're going to make this gravel. There, we've got ourselves a farm. Let's see where the wind's blowing. I think it goes, we want to see where we can place the rest of our industry. It's blowing mainly towards this residential area. So if we build it, we're going to want to build it towards this end over here. And I think we can work on that. Yeah, if we build it in this area, it would largely not affect, I mean, we would basically just have to take this peninsula over here and have that be, everything over here would end up being industry. And I think we could be okay with that. We can sort of extend this little road network out over here a bit, and I will continue with the gravel roads because that's maybe a little more realistic for now. That's just a really steep spot. So instead, let's level it out for right here and then level it out up here. And we will make, we will try to make two different spots. We might as well just go ahead and bring this out here. So we know that's going to happen. All right, and then we can build our road along here and have a bit of a retaining wall. I have seen someone do this, so let's see if we can do it. Let's build, instead of that kind of, instead of gravel road, we'll build a 2-lane road. And we'll try to make it follow along here. Kinda, sorta, not quite. Again, it's a good effort, but not quite. I feel like we're getting closer though. That looks about right. Okay, let's stick with that. That is not the prettiest connection in the world, but I think I'm gonna be okay with it for now. And then let's bring this one through. Next question is, how do we want to get back here? If this is residential and commercial, we probably want to have a separate entrance off of this highway. And we can probably just come off the very end here since it just abruptly ends. So let's try that. Let's come in here. We've already sort of leveled it out. And then I want to have one more come in right about here. Ooh, that is tempting to have that go straight up there. Let's make a node there. And then, hey, we've got Tiny Village. Got a little bit more money. We got a point to spend. What can we do? We can open up some mat tiles. That'll be good. Give us a couple new roads and we can finally place some medical, some healthcare, death care, and garbage. We'll get to those very, very soon. For now, we were about to try to make a slope up to this road. And this may be too steep. 9.5. That is a really steep angle. That is a really steep angle, but we're doing it. We are doing it. I'll leave this little stub here. No, I won't. I know I won't. There's no reason to. I would love to have this connect back somewhere. There's got to be another place that we can get in here. Here-ish. And let's curve this. Make a nice little semicircle. And then we will place one straight across here in the middle. That's where we'll start with our industrial, and now we can actually unlock a tile. So it may make sense to unlock these, but probably not yet. We'll sit on those for a minute. Maybe we should do a little bit of terraforming first now that I think about it. Let's even this out some. And then we can try to slope this up a bit, make this a little more gentle. Yeah, that's not great. So let's soften this a bit. Yeah, I think what we're gonna have to do is just be okay with a smaller industrial area over here for a minute. And let's stick with this block that we've started right here. Let's bring this through. I know that's as far as we can come there. Tell you what, let's go ahead, let's work on that real quick. That's gonna be our industrial area, and we're gonna fill that in before we end today, or we're going to add some, I should say. We may fill that in. Let's go ahead and satisfy some of this demand. It looks like Donovan is bringing in some people. Let's see what our I can't see production yet. That's silly. Okay. These still have not leveled up any, and they have no employees. That is not ideal. I suppose we need to bring more people in. And lack of labor. Okay, well, I suppose I should have seen that. We need some low density, we need medium density. So let's put some medium density. We're gonna pause it so we can watch this fill in, because that's one of my favorite things to do. We're gonna do some row housing. And I want to put the row houses that are going to back up to some of the commercial that I know is going to be on this main street. So let's fill these in. And actually, I see that these are not zoning off of these side streets, which is kind of nice, because I know that Cities Skylines does not play well with this. It tries to fill them in funky. So we're not going to go overboard. We're just going to put those in, and then I know we need some more just regular low density residential. So we will keep filling in some of these. Do we want, yeah, we should go ahead and fill in some of these back here too. I feel like this makes sense. And I want to leave space here for the street to go through here. So we won't go all the way back. And I don't think we're going to place anything that's too close to the highway. I see we need more commercial, even though we do not have enough demand to fill these in. Let's go ahead and put a little bit more. I don't want to put it right next to that. And then we can put a little bit right, maybe not here, but we can go ahead and start zoning in some of Main Street here. How about that? And then while we are at it, let's zone some general industry over here. And we'll go all the way. Actually, I don't want to go all the way back. We'll go about here. Yeah, we'll just fill all of this little section in over here. How about that? Right through here for now. I don't want to fill this in yet because I don't own the tile, and I'm afraid that's going to cause some problems a little bit in the future. Let's see what that does. Let's watch this fill in for a minute and see. Oh, we've got no power back here. Should have seen that. We got this little stretch of highway here, and these are not connected. So let's fix that real quick. Definitely have connection there. I don't think we have connection there. Oh, I guess we do. I guess we do. So now we just need power. So let's connect that part up. Great. Now, let's zoom back out. Let's see if we can watch this fill in a bit. All right, Donovan's got the beginnings of his organized crime empire going here. I do see a couple of these little buildings here, and I don't know why they aren't filling in all the way. Let me want to. Interesting. I just want to see. Can I take these out and see if we can get full-size buildings in? I do know that one of the big things I missed is healthcare, deathcare. So let's add some. Add a medical clinic, and we'll add that to maybe this side right here. In fact, that's perfect. And then death care. Death care, we would need to put in this giant cemetery, and I mean that makes sense. We're gonna put one in. Let's see where we could do that realistically. We could put one in somewhere on this side, but this is also going to be our farmland. There's also over here, but there's not a great way to get to it. If we place it right here, I know this is going to be incredibly ugly. I don't want to do that. That is going to be a terrible idea. What on earth are we going to do? We could put it over here by the farms. I feel like that's as reasonable of an idea as I've got. I'm going to put it as close to the road as I can, because we are going to, actually I need to increase this area. There we go. Now we've got a cemetery, and part of this wasn't going to be able to be used anyway, so that's probably not a terrible place for it. And based on my experience driving through rural spots, having a cemetery right off of a 2-lane highway is pretty reasonable. Maybe not, but in my head. Let's see, we do have garbage now as well. We should figure out where we're going to put it. From my understanding, at least early game, a landfill isn't needed. For a while, we can just export our garbage for a while. And so I think that's what we're going to do. I don't want to designate a landfill just yet. We do have employees now. That's good. We're actually making growing some wheat. How's our happiness over here? Unreliable healthcare coverage. I also know that is a bit of a, at least in my playing, it's a bit of a bug, because this doesn't seem to actually, even though I've got a medical care center over here, it doesn't solve itself, doesn't go away. It still shows unreliable, even though it's, no matter how big it is. We're going to try to fix these as well and fill those in. We want full length. What do we got? Not enough customers. Well, hey, we've got up to 170 people living in this little sleepy town of Whiskey Creek that's slowly growing. Don't have enough people working the farm. That is a big problem for Donovan. But I think it's a problem that we're going to handle next episode. So I really want to thank you for watching. Do you have comments about how you think this build ought to go, or things that we can do in the future? I would certainly appreciate it. Leave them below. If you like the series or you like the video, leave a like, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.